Olayinka Oyetunji. Olayinka Oyetunji is married and blessed with 3 kids. She is a charter holder of the CFA Institute, a fellow of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, and a chartered stockbroker. She works with Ernst & Young as a senior manager advising public and private sector clients in strategy and transactions. She has over 14 years experience brokering mergers and acquisitions, valuations, financial modeling and due diligence, as well as infrastructure and public sector advisory. Olayinka is also a CFA lecturer and facilitates various finance-related courses and trainings. She is the convener of an initiative called CLEAN with Olayinka, a platform that uses storytelling to re-energize and inspire people. She is also a volunteer at the Gender Diversity of the CFA Society, Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome Olayinka Oyetunji.
You're welcome, Ma. I'm glad to have you. You're welcome. Thank you. So you can go ahead.
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm happy to be here. Good afternoon, distinguished participants and the organizers of Become a Chartered Accountant Summit. I thank the organizers for the opportunity to give this keynote speech at the maiden edition of this summit. Today, I'll be speaking on what it takes to be and win. I would not be doing justice to this topic if I do not give a brief background about myself to enable you understand my journey. I became a chartered accountant when I was 22 years old, and I was at the 200 level of the university. Before you conclude I'm brilliant, let me inform you that I started writing the ATS examination when I could not pass JAMB to gain admission into the university, and my peers were already in 300 level. Out of boredom and being tired of staying at home, I started writing the ICANN examinations. The most phenomenal thing is that I passed each of the 6 stages at one sitting and even won a prize at one of the levels. Once again, before you conclude that I am brilliant, I need to tell you that I was an academically challenged child in both primary and secondary schools. My best was an average and my usual was a below average. Prior to starting my ICANN examination, I had never received any award or recognition, nor passed any examination gallantly. This feat at ICANN taught me important lessons in life, which I've also applied to achieve being a chartered stockbroker and a charter holder of the CFA Institute. First, you can achieve anything you set your heart to do. Second, success is achieved through principles. Applying the principles of success would make you achieve your objectives. The first part of my speech today would address how to become a chartered accountant at one sitting, and the other would highlight some strategies you need to win in your career. Let me start by giving you some time-tested tips of how to pass the examination. I have compartmentalized these strategies into 3 buckets. First bucket being your health and well-being, the second being the examination itself, and the third bucket being your psychology. So let's start with the first bucket, your health and well-being. Firstly, you need to know that your health is the most important part of this examination journey. Your health will save you time. Try not to get sick. You will waste time if you do. Your physical and mental health are very important. Make sure that you eat well, you sleep, and you exercise. Think about it. The only thing you enjoy from your money is the food you eat. So, eat to live and not to kill your body. Sleep may sound counterproductive for someone preparing for an examination. However, you need about 7 to 8 hours of sleep per night to be healthy. Sleep enhances your health, and sleep deprivation is a chemical stressor. Minimize processed foods, they make you unhealthy. Secondly, take as much fruits, vegetables, and water as much as you can. Like I said earlier, fuel your body to support your examination, your work, and your life. Try to get brain foods like dark chocolates, walnuts, oily fish. All this would help you in your study. The second bucket is the examination itself. The following are very important with respect to the examination. First, know yourself. Are you an early bird or a night owl? You need to know when you are most productive in the day or night and target your reading towards when you are more productive. Secondly, avoid 0 days. Have a study routine and be consistent with it. Once preparing for the CFA examination, I read between 2 and 5 a.m. during the week and about 20 to 24 hours on Saturday and Sundays. Think about it. If you wake up 4 a.m. and you read till 9 a.m. on a Saturday, you have done 5 hours already. If you are consistent with this routine, it is unlikely that you would not pass your exam. Don't have days when you don't read. Our bodies like routine and you gain momentum each day that you read. After a while, your body gets used to that routine and you don't feel it as a big deal anymore. It's just like you are working out to build muscles. You need to be consistent with it. Third, know the examination. You have to know every single thing about the examination you are writing. The more information you have about the examination, the more likely you are able to predict and defeat the examination. For any examination like the ICANN, I learned that covering everything on the entire curriculum is critical to success, and not covering everything is a setup to failure. There is no shortcut. Remember the ICANN exam I won that I talked about earlier. I learned a concept at the last week of the examination that covered 70% of the examination. I would have failed if I did not cover the syllabus. First, reading versus application. Reading is different from being able to answer questions. You need to practice with a lot of questions to test yourself that you truly and deeply understand the concepts. You need to solve as many past questions as you can and set yourself for a mock examination. You need to also repeat this as many times as you can. After doing past questions repeatedly, it does two things for you. First, you know all the ways that they can ask you questions on a particular topic. Second, it helps you to increase your speed and accuracy. Fifth, understand your brain. There is no shortcut to learning. Research shows that your brain needs at least 17 repetitions to store information. Multitasking is a myth. There is nothing like multitasking. Your brain cannot multitask. You need to focus on what you're doing. You need to focus on your exams. When we say we multitask, we are only saying that we are switching between different tasks repeatedly, and our brains are actually not cut out to do multiple things at the same time. Besides, multitasking is detrimental to both your actual productivity and to your mental health. Attempting to multitask will deplete you of the ability to focus, it will deplete you of your willpower, and it is much less effective than focusing on one single thing at a time. The last bucket is your psychology. You need to be in the right frame of mind to excel in your examination. First, believe you can. I like this quote by Norman Vincent Peale that says, throw your heart over the bar and your body will follow. You need to believe you can, then you would. Second, power poses are very useful. Amy Cuddy is a psychologist that did a research on body language and power poses. Power postures or poses occur when you take up a lot of space physically. Within 2 minutes of adopting power poses, research shows that your testosterone levels increases by 20% and your cortisol levels decrease by 25%. Before others ask me, what do I mean? Testosterone hormone is the one that increases your confidence. So when you take power poses, you actually increase your confidence. So what I'm saying is power poses do helps you to change your mental outlook positively. Third, make yourself feel confident. One of the things I do is look my best when I'm going for an examination. It gives you a sense of confidence. First, surround yourself only with people that encourage you towards your goals. Have many cheerleaders and accountability partners to support your journey. And this leads me to the second part of my speech on how to succeed in your career. Some tips that I have found very useful are this. First, build your technical competence. That is your entry point. Understand the competency structure of your organization and strive to be excellent. Second, develop your soft skills like leadership skills, networking, relationship building, creativity, flexibility, conflict resolution, and problem solving. As you advance the career ladder, your soft skills become even more important than your technical skills. Thirdly, do not confuse a bend for an end. Your career may not be a straight line. A career is often marked with different events and seasons, some pleasant, some neutral, and some unpleasant. Whatever it is, make sure you never give up and you are always moving. In conclusion, I urge each one of you to find a vision and follow it. Determination keeps you in the game and not intelligence. Do not fail because you did not work hard enough. No pain, no gain. Nevertheless, you have not failed on anything until you quit trying. Thank you once again for listening to me. I wish you the best in your examination, in your career, and in life.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ma, for the wonderful session. Thank you. Thank you. Namesake, how was the session?
It was impactful. I liked it, but I would just like to know the things that excel you know, you have to know yourself, know yourself. And that's one thing that's done that a lot of people makes because we are always chase of write exam. You're looking at November, you're looking at midnight, and you're just trying to rush through everything. Go to work Monday to Friday, come back. You're not even sure if you ate at work. You're not thinking of eating dinner. If you want to eat, it's pizza that went with you. So that's actually something that miss out a lot because we all just concentrate on this part of preparing, actual preparation for the exam. That was very, very insightful for me. Thank you very much, ma'am. Namesake.
Thank you. Yeah, just like you said, like she said a whole lot of things, and one thing that also stood out for me in her session was being in the right state of mind. We neglect that part. We neglect the mind part. We just feel like it's all about preparing for the exam. We focus on the technical aspect while we neglect the mind. The mind works together with the brain, so that stood out for me. And you said something about multitasking too, which also stood out for me. Like you cannot, there's no how you'll be productive when you are doing a lot of things at the same time. Focus on one thing, put your energy into the exam. This is what I want to do, I plan towards it. You also said something about having a routine, that for our brain to work well, like you have to do something 17 times for it to become registered. So it's important that we have a routine that helps us with our exam, like reading routine. No 0 days. I pick that, no 0 days. It means that no matter what, even if it's just to read for 5 minutes a day, make sure you read something towards your exam. Thanks so much. I have a question, Ma, before we throw it to the house, whether they have. You said something about power poses, and I've never really heard power poses. I understand that, yes, your confidence, you have to be, but can you shed more light into what you mean by power poses?
Thank you very much, Dola, and for listening attentively. So when you talk about power poses, when you meet some people, you find them closed up. Like, so if you can see my hands, they are like this, they are bowed down. Power posing is you opening up yourself. Taking power poses like the Wonder Woman, right? just opening up yourself. I mean, research has shown, and it's online by a professor of a social psychologist, that when you power post, what it does for you is it helps your mental outlook, because you actually cannot write any exam and succeed until you have believed in yourself that you can actually do it. So most times, if you look at President Obama's picture, he would probably put his legs on the table, he will raise his hands high. Those are power poses, and everybody is encouraged to take those postures because it actually does help your mental health. Rather than folding in your house and covering up, just try as much as possible to open up, to take up space, right? That way, you are able to build your mental outlook positively.
Thank
Thank you. So, Dolapo, over to you.
you. So I'd like to throw it to the house now. If you have any questions, please send in your questions and you can ask Ms. Olayinka. But she's here now because free of charge. Looking at you. So ask her the questions you have for her. Put her stay here to good use. Namesake Dolapo, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, but I can see some comments in the comment section saying that they can't hear us clearly. I don't know. Can you hear me now? Please let's know if you can hear us clearly in the comment section whether we are better now. Please let's know. So please let's drop our questions for our speaker. If you have questions, let's drop our questions. Let's drop our questions. Okay, so we have a question. Charis George, thank you for your question. She said, please, can you successfully do a full-time job and ACCA or ACA at the same time? Did you get my
Okay.
question, ma'am?
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you, Caris, for your
Yes,
question.
she's back.
Okay,
We can hear
so
you now.
Caris, let me go back. I said you can definitely do your professional exams, right? Either the ICANN or ACCA by with being fully employed. And I want to give myself as an example that I wrote the CFA examinations, one of the most difficult examinations in the world, whilst married. I had three children and I was fully employed. So the first thing that you have to know when you are writing any exam is to first believe in yourself that you are able to do it, and then you think through how you want to accomplish it. So it's very possible. I mean,
You mentioned that she should believe in herself that she can, and you just come up with a strategy that works for you. So another question we have from Anna Oguntade says, did you have any case of information overload?
okay, thank you very much, Hannah. When you are writing an exam, the first thing you have to do is you have to know the exam very well. Knowing the exam means knowing the kind of questions they will ask you, understanding other people's experience on that examination, speaking to people that are also writing the examination with you.
Another question says from Kafayat, says, what exactly is power poses? I guess she didn't hear you when you were explaining, but I can answer that. She mentioned, she explained something. So, Kafayat, I hope this helps. She was saying that power poses are like, it has to do with you opening yourself up, because the way you position yourself, your posture also affects your mental health. So she was saying that some people, they are like this, they stay bent, some they are like this, like you see Obama, like, there's a way he stands, there's a posture that he poses when he's taking pictures or anything. His leg could be on the table, it could be so. Those are power poses. Like, it helps build your confidence when you are up straight, you're up tight, like you believe, you walk like a boss, you walk like a king, like you have that confidence. It affects your mental health that yes, I can do this thing. It helps you in building your confidence for the exam. There's another question from Tricia Andy that says, what are the best time for reading, even you working? She said, what is the best time to really read when you work from Monday to Friday and you close late every day? Our speaker would, I think she would respond to this better when she comes back on board. I'm so sorry about the network. So Darko, you were saying something before. Our products that we've come up with, the BACA products, become chartered accountants at one attempt online course, would answer some of these questions that you have. Oh, welcome. It will answer the questions that you have. We've noted some of these questions, and these are things that we've researched on. We've identified that these are issues that people have when preparing for their exams. And so we have come up with a product which you would get to know more about as we go ahead in the summit, that would answer some of this, in fact almost all your questions. Am I right, namesake?
Yes, you're very right. And at this junction, we would like to sincerely thank Mrs. Olayinka for our impactful section. I enjoyed myself. I learned a whole lot, and that's just me. Can I imagine the number of people that have joined us? So thank you very much for taking our time to come to our platform to spill all the knowledge you have gathered from your years of experience and writing ICANN. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
very much
Well,
for having me.
Please, can
thank
we
you.
tell her thank you in the comment section? Show
Session.
her love. Thank you very much,
Thank
ma'am.
you, everyone.